Hello and welcome. I'm Yoga Mama Jess. Now, today's yoga practice is going to be very short but very powerful. I want to incorporate not only using our breath, but also using the strength of our bodies. So you're probably thinking to yourself, how are those two combined? Well, anytime we try to work on strength, sometimes our minds take over and they say, you know what, I'm tired, I can't finish this. However, that is when we want our strong breath to kick in and remind us just how strong our bodies are. So go through this practice with a very open mind. Some parts you might just want to say, you know what, I'll try this again tomorrow, and that's okay. But I really want to encourage you to use your strong breath to keep your strong body moving. Let's get started. If you have a yoga block, please go ahead and grab this. If not, it's okay. Now, if you have a yoga block, I like to sit on my block. I have pretty tight hips, so I think this feels really great. We are going to be seated for a few moments, so just get comfortable. Now, reach your arms straight out to your sides. Relax those shoulders down away from your ears. Really reach that energy out through your fingertips. Good. Feel that little stretch in between your shoulder blades. Feel a nice broadening across the chest and the collarbone. And just breathe here. Now, while we're reaching the energy out through those fingertips, I want to remind you to keep those shoulder blades plugged in. Good. Sit up nice and tall. Find that steady breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Now, I know those arms are getting a little heavy. Keep breathing here. Now turn your palms up. Let those thumbs really drop down to the ground. With your next deep inhale, with intention, sweep the arms overhead. Bring your palms together. Exhale, hands to your heart. Really feel that strength in the entire upper body. Inhale, reach the arms out, palms up. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, back to your chest. Just one more time, reach the arms out, palms up. Inhale, sweep it up. Palms together. Exhale, hands back to your heart. Now just shake it out a little bit. Nice busy morning around here. And then you can stay seated or come into a hero pose. If you have your block, just place your block in between your feet and then have a seat. And again, you always want to listen to your body. So if this is not comfortable, just stay in a regular seated pose. Now this time, reach the arms forward and then plug your shoulders back in. Good. Sitting up nice and tall. Imagine that you have another block, and if you do have another block, you can always grab it. Imagine that you're squeezing another yoga block right in between your hands. How about that? We feel that entire body working. Now, I remember when I first fell in love with yoga, which was like back in 1996, one of the things I found that I loved the most about yoga is that my mind was so busy with thinking about the yoga poses I had to do and thinking about my breath and thinking about linking my breath with my yoga poses, I couldn't think about anything else. And so just find that right now that this is such a great release from your normal day-to-day, because all those other thoughts, I promise you, they'll still be there after we get off of our yoga mats. So squeeze that block or your imaginary block a little bit more. And release. How about a nice big shoulder roll? All right, now keeping that block in between your feet, but you might want to go long ways on your mat. Squeeze that block in between the balls of your feet. Bring your hands below your shoulders and then come on up to a plank pose. Now we are holding this plank for 1 minute. Remember at the beginning of our practice, I talked about how sometimes our mind takes over. So you might be thinking, holy cow, how can I hold a plank for 1 minute? I promise you can do it. However, if you're not feeling it today, that's okay. You can try it again tomorrow. But we want the body to be stronger than that mind, which is sometimes hard. So right when you feel that mind saying, oh my gosh, my body's quivering, it's hard to hold this, find that breath and just keep that breath nice and steady. Now, if you need to come down to one knee or both knees, that's perfect. Just keep the upper body in line. Keep breathing. And now press down through your hands. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Oh, the sweetest downward dog we've ever found. Now we're going to take another timed plank. But this time, I want you to come forward, come onto your elbows, with your elbows right below your shoulders, and then walk your feet up onto your block. So just a little different change of scenery here. Our feet are slightly elevated, our head is a little bit lower, our breath is just as steady, our quivering may have gotten a little more intense. And now just think, not only is our breath a powerful motivator here, but anytime we do a core, we work that entire body. All muscles in the body are firing right now. I just looked down at my pants and my little flowers are like wiggling out of control. So don't worry, if you feel your whole entire body quivering, you are not alone. Now from here, walk your feet forward into a little dolphin pose. Relax the shoulders, let your head hang in between the arms. Now normally this dolphin pose feels super intense in our yoga practice, but right now it feels like a great release. Maybe lift one leg, maybe lift the other leg just for fun. And now lower down onto your knees. Untuck your toes. Take a little child's pose. And it might even feel nice if you grab your block and place that block right below your forehead. Now reaching your arms out in front of you. Feel that length in your spine. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Come back to that downward facing dog. And then back to your plank. Now, go ahead, if you moved your block, just slide it back in between your feet. This time we're going to take a plank with our toes on our blocks, but staying up on our hands. And of course, if you have any discomfort in your wrists, you can always take your plank down on your elbows. You're like, stop talking, we're still in this plank. All right, so ready, with your toes on top of your block, tap your right toes down, and then back to your block. Tap your left toes down, and then back to your block. Adding on, tap the right toes, right knee, right elbow, block. Tap the left toes, left knee, left elbow, block. Hang in there. Tap the right toes, right knee, right elbow, right knee, left elbow, block. One more. Left toes, left elbow, right elbow, block, and then press those hips up. Taking a downward facing dog with our feet still on our block, maybe walk your hands a little further back. Whew, we got that heart rate going on that one. Now, little bend in your knees. Step your feet forward up towards your hands. Grab your block and place your block up towards the right corner of your mat, and then just roll it up. Now, keeping your right toes facing the front of your mat, step your left foot all the way back. turn your shoulders and your hips to face the side of your mat, maybe to face your screen. Reach the arms out to the sides and sink into Warrior Two. One of my little assistants is coming out to say hello. So our right knee is over our right heel.
And 2 plus 2 is 4.
Relax those glutes, sink in a little bit deeper. Now remember when we were in our seated pose at the beginning of our practice, we thought about broadening through the chest and the collarbone, reaching out through those fingertips. Now grab your block. Bring your right hand to your block right outside of your right foot. Left arm goes straight up to the sky. Plug that shoulder blade down and back. If this is too intense, just bring your right elbow above your right knee. I have one more assistant that wants to come out and say hello. Now staying low in those hips, keeping that bend in the right knee. Thank you, monkey. Just come back up to Warrior Two. Left hand down, right arm reaches overhead. Reverse Warrior. Breathe into that nice stretch through the right ribs. Inhale, Warrior Two. One more time, side angle pose. If you had your elbow on the knee last time, give it a try. Challenge yourself by bringing that right hand down to the ground or down to your block. Now straighten your right leg. I like to flip my block up for this. Hey, scoot, scoot. I like to flip my block to the higher side for this, for our triangle pose. Both legs are straight and strong. Think about squeezing those legs together. Hey, baby. Roll your left shoulder back. Roll your left hip back. And now reach that left arm overhead. Inhale, really reach through those fingertips. Exhale, release. Looking over that right foot, step your left foot up to meet your right at the top of your mat. Now just bring your block over to the other side and lunge your right leg back. Pivot your right foot, taking our warrior on the other side. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Hey, ladies. Left knee is over the heel. Relax the glutes, sink the hips. Reach out through those fingertips, but at the same time, plug those shoulders back. Feel that little stretch in between the shoulder blades. Feel that nice broadening through the chest and the collarbone. Sink it a little bit deeper. Now from here, side angle pose. Maybe you like your elbow above your knee. If you'd like a little bit more, bring your left hand down to the ground or down to your block. Right arm goes straight up to the sky. Now really press down through the left hand, reach up through the right arm. Still getting that stretch in the shoulder blades. Still getting that broadening through the chest. Sink into those glutes, or actually relax those glutes, sink into those legs. And now back up to Warrior Two. Right hand down, left arm reaches back, reverse Warrior. Keep bending your left knee to the front of your mat, reaching your left fingertips to the back of your mat. Breathe into that nice opening in your left ribs. Warrior Two. Side angle pose. Again, challenge yourself this time by bringing your hand down to your block or down to your mat. And then straighten your left leg, triangle pose. Again, I like to turn my block to the higher side. Roll the right shoulder open, roll the right hip open, and then drop that right arm overhead. Just getting a nice stretch all down the side of the body. Inhale, reach through the fingertips a little bit more. Exhale, release, right hand down. Bend your left knee into a lunge. Block goes to the middle of your mat. And then step right into downward facing dog. So walk out this dog if you need to. Shake out those legs a little bit. Now we have one more timed pose. However, we get to do it on each side of our body. It's our Vashisthasana, side plank. So from this downward facing dog, walk your feet together so big toes are touching, and then shift forward, come into your plank. Bring your right hand on top of your block, roll to the outer edge of your right foot, left arm goes straight up. Hey guys, baby. Now options here. You can keep your feet stacked. This is the most challenging. You can split your feet so they're about the width of your mat. Hey guys. Or maybe drop your right knee and lift your left leg. Now I actually have quite a bit of arthritis in my right hand. So when I do my side plank on this side, this is the most comfortable for me. However, I still want to think about reaching up through the left fingertips, reach out through the left toes to still get the benefit of that balance while working that core. Good, breathing here.
Excuse me.
Now I always like to show how yoga really is for the whole family. The girls and I love to do yoga together, so I hope you love to do yoga with the girls too. All right, back into this side plank and then release. Now, left hand down. Again, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, split your feet or left knee down, and let's take the side plank on the other side. Press down through your left hand, reach up through your right fingertips, lift those hips. Good, keep breathing. Let the breath take over when the mind is ready to give up. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, release. Hands down to your mat. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Walk out this dog if that feels good. Bring your heels back and then lower your knees down to your mat. Slide your block underneath your forehead, enjoying a few breaths here in your child's pose. Maybe circle out the wrists and reverse the circle. Make your way up to seated. Now, if you do have a few moments here to recline down on your mat and enjoy a Shavasana, please do. Thank you so much for joining all three of us. We hope that you have a strong and breath-filled day. Until next time, namaste.